And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. We're getting towards the end of October, which has gone pretty quickly, right? October 28th, it's Tuesday, 2025. Hope you're having a good day. As always, we have an interesting show today in that we're going to start it off first with your emails. But also then NVIDIA. NVIDIA, I don't know if they had an Investors Day today. I don't know exactly what it was. But I'm just going to read off to you all kinds of things out of NVIDIA today. And I'm thinking to myself, is this company going to own the world? And now, of course, that's hyperbole, but when I'm done, you will get my point. And of course, this will be serious talk on everything that affects you. We will do the market. We will do the economy. We'll do your job. You'll do industry. We're going to do crime out of the box because of my little talk on crime yesterday. We got a lot of emails, and I'm going to answer the emails with one occurrence. If you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. We'll also have the YouTube channel of BizTV and other podcast apps. And if you'd like to email me, just be nice like everybody else was yesterday. So, part of the economy, your job, your industry is crime. There are stores shutting around the country because of crime. That will affect somebody's jobs in the stores. And I can go on and on and on. As I said, I think the system is flawed. And we're hearing about these flaws on a daily basis of judges that seem to... I'm going to read something to you here, and this is an answer all the emails I received on this, and this really has nothing to do with you and your money, kind of sort of has nothing to do with the economy, but it speaks to everything I've been saying about the number one job of leaders of communities, states, cities, counties, country, is to protect the citizens. Judges are supposed to, correct me if I'm wrong, protect the citizens. I'm not going to mention this person's name. He doesn't deserve to have his name mentioned. But in my hands right now is an article that a man who was arrested 7 times for child abuse on his kids. 7 times arrested for child abuse. Beating the crap out of them. 7 times. There's not going to be an 8th time. Because ages 6, 9, 10, and 18 were found in his trunk of his car dead. He murdered them. This is exactly what I mean. 7 times for violent child abuse, and he's out. I don't know what it's going to take for the system to get tough. And this prick will be in jail for the rest of his life off of we the taxpayer while his 4 kids are dead. This is what I am talking about in a nutshell. And of course, there's obviously lesser where shoplifters are being arrested 30 times and let out for 31. And then on 31, they beat the crap out of the security guard. There's no perfect scenario on this, but it should be a tougher scenario. There is not a day that goes by that I don't just, by accident, read up about another criminal that was arrested 15, 18, 20, 25, 30. I think I read one 80. At what point do you realize that this person cannot be rehabilitated and all he's going to do is cause damage to people, businesses, the economy? You tell me. This should not be hard. It should not be hard. It should not be hard. And when you start punishing crime, potentially, not definitively, but potentially the next person who is thinking about it may not. Because I'm pretty damn sure living in a 6x9 cell is not what everybody wants. We just had to start with that because that hit me. Because yesterday we were talking about it and I got a lot of emails, which has me segueing. Because that's what we do. I'm not sure exactly what the story was. I don't know whether NVIDIA had some type of day, but let me read this to you. You ready? Lilly partners with NVIDIA to build AI supercomputers. Hewlett-Packard to build mission and vision supercomputers for Los Alamos National Laboratory in collaboration with NVIDIA. CrowdStrike collaborating with NVIDIA to bring always-on continuous learning AI agents for cybersecurity to the edge through something called the Charlotte AI Agent Works. NVIDIA and this is all today. NVIDIA and Palantir CEO, well, that's an interview. Johnson & Johnson to advance robotics development with NVIDIA. Leidos and Vast Data Federal announce a strategic partnership to deliver a new scalable model for cyber defense, which will be showcased live at NVIDIA's GTC thingamabob. Churchill Capital Corp merger partner Inflection to bring NVIDIA NVQ-Link quantum system to Illinois. ServiceNow has expanded its partnership with NVIDIA to unite intelligent workflows. Radcom announced availability of high-capacity user analytics solutions with integration of NVIDIA. Supermicro expands collaboration with NVIDIA and strengthens compliance. Keysight inks deals with NVIDIA to advance hybrid quantum AI supercomputing. I'm not making this up. Checkpoint Software announced it is working with NVIDIA to deliver an integrated security solution for AI factories. Flextronics teams with NVIDIA to build modular AI-optimized data centers. This is today, by the way. Hewlett-Packard advances government and enterprise AI adoption through secure AI factory innovations with NVIDIA. Synopsys spotlights agentic AI, accelerating computing and AI physics at NVIDIA. You know what this is? I guess NVIDIA had this global tech conference in D.C. today. That's what it was today, I guess. Yep, that's what it was. I just figured that out. Eli Lilly deploys world's largest AI factory for drug discovery using NVIDIA Blackwell-based DGX SuperPod. Accenture launches physical AI orchestrator combining NVIDIA Omniverse. Akamai Tech launches Akamai Inference Cloud, globally distributed architectures, and NVIDIA Blackwell AI infrastructure. NVIDIA and Oracle to build U.S. Department of Energy's largest AI supercomputer for scientific discovery. NVIDIA and U.S. telecom leaders unveil the all... You want me to continue? I got like 20 more. NVIDIA working with the U.S. Department of Energy's national labs, nation's leading companies to build Americans' AI infrastructure to support scientific discovery, economic growth, and power the next industrial revolution. Up next, we'll finish with the NVIDIA. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. You think I'm done? NVIDIA and Nokia announced a strategic partnership to add NVIDIA-powered commercial-grade AI RAN products to Nokia's industry-leading RAN portfolio. NVIDIA announces NVIDIA NVQLink, an open system architecture for tightly coupling the extreme performance of GPU computing, whatever the hell any of this means. NVIDIA to make a $1 billion equity investment in Nokia. President Trump will sign agreement with South Korea tomorrow to increase cooperation of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and 6G. NVIDIA, President Trump says he will meet with the CEO, Jensen Huang, tomorrow. That was some of NVIDIA today. And it took me a little bit to read. They had their global tech conference today in Washington, D.C., and they made all these announcements today. Holy crap. NVIDIA was up $10 today to over 200. Big 200 number. Whether it sticks or not, I don't know. But that's the story. Amazing. Amazing. I don't know what the end game is, but holy crap. And I'm still trying to figure out the AI thing. I know what it is now. I've been studying it. I have an understanding. And I think that the possibilities are endless. We're reading stories. I'm just telling you what I'm reading. That supposedly AI is going to enable amazing movement in cancer. Not necessarily cures, but towards cures. Enable longevity of life. I mean, we don't know if this is going to be or not, but I'm reading meaty, M-E-A-T-Y stories about what it can possibly do or do. Right now, all I know is I've never used the ChatGPT, but when I go on my thing, it comes up with, you can click in AI stuff, and it gives, all I know is it's giving me more information right now. Best places to visit in Tokyo. Get a rundown, then the AI shows up and gives you a little bit more. I know it's a lot more than that. One day I'll spend a few hours more on it. Anyway, I just want to let you know that was one after the other after the other. And I'm thinking to myself, is NVIDIA going to be involved with every S&P 500 company? Anyway, and by the way, we are not telling you to buy, sell, short, or cover NVIDIA. We're just letting you know that today, just announcement after announcement after announcement. For all we know, the stock goes down. And next, so we want you to listen carefully. We've been doing little dissertations, diatribes, or whatever you want to call it, on narrowing markets in 1999, which turned into a disaster. And I just want to let you know that today it was better and sold a little bit into the close, but the NASDAQ was up 190, NASDAQ 100 was up 190, but advanced declines on the NASDAQ were worse and worse and worse throughout the whole day. We're 1,782 up, 2,709 down. With that, and the Dow was up 161, I'm letting you know my middle screen. And you have to understand, and I don't know if you can really picture this. I have three big screens in front of me, and I have back screens, but the three big screens give me a real good look at the markets. My middle screen I set up with what I called stuff. And what that is just not things that are strong, not things that are weak, but just I wanted to be able to see all the areas of the market at once and see them trade. So on that screen I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 columns, and there's about 60 stocks in each column. There's 600 stocks on this one screen. And the right column is all semiconductors. The next column is all financials, separated with banks and regionals and then other financials. The next column, a little bit of the ways, is a bunch of the restaurants. Right under that is what we call economically sensitive names. Otis Elevator, Carrier Air Conditioning, United Rentals, which, by the way, is gagging. The next column over, the top of it is consumer staples. That's your food, beverage, tobacco, household products, and alcohol, which is destroyed. Right under that is all the insurance stocks. Next column I have commodities, steel, copper, aluminum stocks that represents the commodities or in the business, like Steel Dynamics or Nucor. Right under that is the airlines. Right under that is casinos. Right next to it, on the next column, is hotels and cruise lines. So I can see travel altogether. Right above that's going to be the transports, just the transport stocks. Right above that is housing. Next column over is just four names. They're the exchanges, the CME, the CBOE, and the like. Right under that is a bunch of medical products and research companies. Intuitive Surgical's in there, IDEX Labs, things like that. Under that is big biotech. Then waste management, which is being wasted right now. Then I got hospitals. The next column to the left encompasses the whole column, retail of all stripes. And when I say retail apparel. Next column over, well, I have last two columns halfway down is oils. Oils next to each other. Under that, you will see defense stocks, managed care, which has been the big bear market. One second. Auto parts retail, auto dealers, autos, drugs. And I have a little column for two names, ADP and Paychex, which, by the way, are in bear markets, which are payroll companies. So I'm able to see what I call stuff. Stuff. And all I can tell you is a lot of these areas, while you've got NVIDIA, Broadcom, music. I'll be right back. You'll get the point. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. So, as I was saying, while you have, and we're not taking away from what is, we're just letting you know there's a ton of what isn't. That's all we're saying. And when we tell you insurance stocks are in a void, they're in a bearish phase of unknown price and time. And by the way, their bearish phase is worsening and worsening every day, by the way. It's meaningful. because I can also say to you, oh, the cruise lines are in a bearish phase. The waste management's in a bearish phase. Hotels a bearish phase, not as bad as others. The airlines in a bearish phase. A ton of the retail and apparel in a bearish phase, with some names like Lululemon and Abercrombie and Fitch absolutely destroyed. The payroll companies, jobs, ADP and Paychecks, bearish phase. How about the auto dealers? Bearish phase. How about the food, beverage, tobacco, household products, and alcohol? Bearish phase. And there's some in there that are okay or in shape. But overall, how about the restaurants? How long have I been telling you that the restaurants are in a bear market? For a long while, with some things destroyed. And when I'm able to do that, it just tells you how narrow things are. And we're just letting you know that, and we're not telling you the same thing's going to happen. We're just letting you know the reason why 1999 and the disaster of 2000 to 2003 occurred is because all the big institutions and portfolio managers sold everything, taking things like home builders down to 1 times earnings, and bought up a select area of stocks, got them so over-owned, over-loved, over-leveraged, overpriced, and the cycle was ending, and you know what happened then? We're not saying the same thing's going to happen. We're just telling you that some of those characteristics of narrowness in the market are at hand. They're not looking to they're here. And we're paying attention. And we're not going to be in the bad areas. And we're going to keep saying to you, hey, this is in a downtrend, bearish phase. We have an avoid on it. But it's your money, you decide. We're not telling you to buy, sell, short, or cover. We're just letting you know we deem that a downtrend, and you have to assume we know what a downtrend looks like, or a bear market. And of course, in that realm of everybody saying to you, you got to think long term. Well, I don't know if you want to own Abercrombie and Fitch from 165 down to 74 in the last 10 months. Or how about a very strong restaurant stock that hit $172 last November, Kava Group, that's now $62. And we can go back and forth on why. I don't have time to do that right now. We're just letting you know there's just a lot of that crap going on. And then there's my left screen. I have 4 columns of my left screen. Forget the other columns. Right in the middle are what we call lesser technology growth names, where some of them used to be strong, but then they broke support and or moving averages, so they came off of our front screen and we moved them onto this screen. There's a ton of them. And not only that, anything that broke below $25, we moved to a back screen. And that back screen now has a bunch of names on them. It just tells you fewer and fewer stocks participating in that. And we're going to be paying attention to that. And we'll keep telling you, this is what we think you should avoid. This is what you get the point. Because right now leading semiconductors, artificial intelligence, data storage, but no longer is the energy for the data storage participating. They're even topping out. It's the electric power types for the infrastructure. They're topping out. And then there's other miscellaneous technology stocks acting well, no doubt. and such an influence where we've told you the top 7 are like 60% of the NASDAQ 100, 30 some odd percent of the S&P. So that's muy importante as we move forward. Because I can tell you what they call value just ain't happening. And I have to tell you, if you had the best stocks right now, let's say you had a 10 stock portfolio, let's say 20, and you had 2 of the best restaurant stocks, 2 of the best insurance stocks, 2 of the best transport stocks, 2 of the best retail stocks. And we say stocks, we're talking companies. 2 of the best auto companies, dealers. You're getting smoked. If I told you, oh, you're going to own Colgate, you're getting smoked. So we're just making the point. You better be listening to us on what to avoid. You should always listen to us on that, but more now, you should be listening to us on what to avoid. And I'm not kidding. And as always, if anything changes, we will let you know. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Because we're in earnings season, and I can promise you, good will be bad, bad will be good. You had things gapping up today like Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, which is a big biotech that has been absolutely destroyed, topped out at $1,211 in August of 24. It was up $64 today, thankfully, to $654. So that means it's still down about 40 whatever percent from that time. But had a great day today. Earnings were still down, but I guess the market considered far enough. Wayfair up $20 today. Good earnings growth. Sales growth okay, but great earnings growth. Boom. So we're constantly on the lookout, and of course there's that other side, because Zebra Tech down $36 today. And we don't need to get into reasons. How about this one? Commvault, whatever they do, down $28 to $145. So while Wayfair boomed to the upside, Commvault boomed to the downside. So that's part of the equation right now, because we are now in the midst of earnings season. This week is a monster week, and we have our eyes peeled on the best reactions, both good and both bad. And again, some things will be good, some things will be bad, and then there'll be some things that don't even register. I got Visa reported earnings. It's down 20 cents in the aftermarket. And by the way, it's a $348 stock, which is quite amazing that it'd be only moving 20 cents. So just letting you know, narrow is all heck. Just letting you know. Because if it stays narrow and the good stuff tops out, you'll be hearing from us. But the good stuff got gooder today. NASDAQ 100, the AI semis. I got to tell you, most of the semis were actually down today, but the artificial intelligence names had a pretty darn good day. Have no clue what they do tomorrow, but had a pretty darn good day. Now, a lot more earnings this weekend. We get Jay Powell tomorrow. Yay. Up next, this, that, and the other thing. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. In the news, Hamas broke the ceasefire, so Israel is doing its thing in Gaza, and Israel's getting blamed again. Hamas try to gun down Israeli police, breaking the ceasefire. Israel acts in retaliation, and they get the blame. In the news, here's a headline. Florida's anti-communism curriculum criticized as propaganda by experts. Who the hell are these experts? So Florida's trying to do an anti-communism curriculum, which, by the way, means a little bit here and there. That's hyperbole as far as a headline. That's bad. You know, communism has killed millions of people throughout the years. That's bad? But that's a headline from a newspaper. Interesting, huh? Huh. Hey, in the news, the election for the mayor of New York City soon. More video is coming out of this. Can't say the words. But again, just want to let you know who he is, because we believe that somebody who's lived their life one way and then all of a sudden running for election says the opposite or apologizes, just go back his whole life. So another video came out. Here's the quote. When the boot of the New York Police Department is on your neck, it's been laced by the Israeli Defense Force. What have we told you about this guy? It's simple. He hates police and he hates Jews and Israel. And every time we pick up another video, it's about hating Jews and hating police and hating Israel. And democracy and capitalism. Always be wary of the people that complain about others in democracy, that hate democracy. Anyway, he's going to be the next mayor of New York City. In the news, didn't we do this yesterday also on climate again? Bill Gates, one of the big proponents of humanity will eventually have a demise because of climate change, is now backing away and saying that climate change will not lead to humanity's demise. Why are these people all of a sudden backing away? Did they get tired of themselves? Did they get tired of BSing? By the way, I got no problem with Bill Gates. Other people do. You know, Bill Gates spent bazillion dollars in Africa with, you know what he did? He spent it on nets so kids don't get malaria. I love that. I can't complain about the guy, except he was part of the climate change hoax. And again, let me say the hoax. We cannot change hurricanes. We cannot change tornadoes. We cannot control the weather as much as they tell us. What we can do is all the times is care about pollution, do better, go greener. I have absolutely no problem with that. I'm an environmentalist. What we are against is the BS artists telling you to send them crap loads of money so they can have grants to do studies. And that's what this is all about. It's all about money. Al Gore is worth a few $100 million off of this scam, this con. By the way, I'd say it to his face. And if he ever sued me, I'd just play the videos where he said 25 years ago, in 10 years, or we can all go back to 1982 on CBS with Dan Rather, where he said, Florida's going to be underwater. Anyway, in the news, the government's still shut down, and it pisses me off. And here's why. Good, hardworking Americans are not getting their paychecks right now. That sucks. And it sucks brought to you by the miscreants in D.C. and both parties that can't get their asses together that hate each other, try to destroy each other. And who ends up the victims? Workers not getting their paychecks. Now, eventually they're going to get them, but why should they be waiting one day extra? And just remember, both parties, both the Republican Party and the Marxist Party, have brought us to $38 trillion of debt. They don't even fight over what is called the debt ceiling. There is no ceiling. And they just blame each other. Of course, there's been points in time where it's the Republicans' fault, and now it's the Marxist Party fault, because they could be negotiating for a couple of months. The Republicans passed this resolution to fund the government for the next 90 days and try and work it out. But no, the Marxist Party wants to spend us into death with the Affordable Care Act subsidies. If it was so affordable, it would not need subsidies. So the con job continues. So I get that this go-round, the Republicans are not at fault. It is the Marxist Party that's at fault. But how do we even get to this point where a good people who work for the TSA or whatever they do, air traffic controllers, you think they're important? You think the air traffic controllers are important? And if an air traffic controller has to worry about their paycheck and writing a bill for their electric or their phone or for their kids, how effective are they going to be with their job? Anyway, it comes under the usual heading that I've been trying to tell you for a long time. They all suck. And I take no joy in saying it. You all have a great evening. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Very simply, make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise they will be well. I hope there's no 18-inning baseball game tonight. By the way, this Ohtani guy, why couldn't the Mets get him? Until tomorrow, have a great one, everybody. Good night.